So 2018 Canyon Torque AL7. Comes with a wicked spec. It's got Fox 36 Performance Elite at the front, Fit 4 damper, which is quite good. 180 travel, 175 travel at the back with the Float X2, just a performance model, so it's just got low speed compression, low speed rebound. It's got DT Swiss wheels, so the E1700s, which seem stiff, seem durable. I haven't spent much time on these wheels before, but assuming they're good, there's no dents in them. They didn't feel weak or flimsy or anything like that. 30mm internal diameter, so a good footprint for the tyres, the 2.5 tyres. We got a DHF Max Grip XO on the front, 2.5, and we got a DHF 3C Max Terra XO Plus on the back. Heaps of grip front and back, excellent grip. Code brakes, which I can't say enough about the code brakes. These are just the code, I think it's just code R, basically the budget bob codes, so no contact point adjustment or anything like that, just lever adjustment. Heaps of power with the 200 rotor on the front, 180 on the back, heaps of power. Control as well, you can control the power really well. I'd like to get on a pair of Saint brakes sometime soon and see what they feel like, because I know their power is just immense. See if they've got similar control to what these have got, because these have got immense power, but they've got control as well. And I think it might be at the detriment of not quite the same amount of power as the Saint's got. So if you're a heavier guy, you'd probably want to go for the Saint. But to me, these things are flawless. These codes are wicked. Comes with 165 cranks, which is great, just descendant cranks. This has got a super low bottom bracket, so if it came with anything longer, it would be a nightmare to ride, I think. It's, even with the 165s, you clip pedals on the way up, set at 20mm of sag, so 21mm of sag is 30%. I've got a 20mm of sag. It's got a GX 11-speed drivetrain, so 1142 or 1042 maybe at the back. 32 tooth sprocket, so not the optimal climbing setup. You'd want an Eagle for a climber, but it still climbs well. Gets you up the hill, no worries. It's not the slug that it seems to be portrayed as in the reviews. It climbs relative to how much travel it's got. So 175 in the rear, it's not going to be a 120 XC trail whipper, but it's not a pig. It's not a pig. Once I got it set up right, it came with 2 spaces in the rear. I ended up with 4 spaces because it felt quite sluggish with 2. 4 spaces at 180 psi. It came with 2 spaces at 220 psi and it felt sluggish. It didn't feel supportive enough. So 4 spaces felt much better. I eventually went to 5 spaces and it felt better again. It carried more speed. It stayed on top of things better. It didn't fall into the travel on bigger hits or repeated hits. It stayed on top of things without being harsh. Still had excellent compliance from the back. Very good in the rough stuff. When you get rough, it's a bike that you can still maneuver. You can still, last minute, you change direction, get out of trouble. You can put it into trouble and get it back out of trouble just like that. So, excellent in that sense. The bike corners extremely well. So coming into corners, as soon as you give it any sort of lean, any sort of inclination that you're ready to corner, it's doing it. It's cutting a wicked carve. It carves a really, really good arc when you're turning on it. It's quite impressive. It is quite impressive. So bikes like the Trek Slash, where that bike's got the best momentum of any bike I've ever ridden. This thing's got great momentum, but it's not on that level of the Trek Slash. But when it comes to coming into rough corners or rough sections where you've got to kind of change your direction to set up for what's next through the rough stuff, the Slash and pretty much any 29 I've ridden, you're stuck on your line and it's a lot of effort to put it where you want it to be. The Hightower LT was a little better, but still had that 29er feeling of getting stuck on your line. This thing, you can put it wherever you want. It's not getting overwhelmed with the suspension set up right. It's not getting overwhelmed anywhere. It's not getting choppy. It's boom, 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 you're charging through a line, oh shit, I need to be over here. Just do it, you just do it. It's so easy to do. It's not, you're not getting beat up so hard that you just got to hold on. You can just go, hi, pop, whoop, over here, perfect. The suspension curve, which I've spoken about before, it's supportive, and then it tends to drop off at the end, which makes it really smooth in those where you land into a deep, braking bump section, and you like land and go whack, 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 and you're trying to corner as well, for instance. This, instead of going whack, 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 it disappears under you and then brings you back up to supportively. It's really, really good. It's a really great design, the way that works. The fork, I'm running at 80 psi. I started at 75 psi and found that it felt good, felt great, felt playful, felt good at Moriata. But when I went and trail rode up at Waterfall Gully, it was still okay for climbing up, it was still efficient, but I felt like it wasn't carrying enough speed. It wasn't staying on top of everything to get to the next spot quicker. It was getting stuck in between holes and in between obstacles, in between rough stuff. So real rocky trails up there, some of the trails are a bit rocky. I felt like I needed a little bit more. So I upped the pressure to 80, went back out to Moriata, and it was faster. It was quite easily faster, holding more speed, more playful. I just had to dial in the rebound a little bit. I went one click slower to stop it from, it was just a little bit too lively at the front. And once I got that set up right, it felt killer. It carried a lot of speed. I went faster on my Moriata. I did a Strava run on the helmet cam, on the GoPro. So that runs on Strava, good time 69, if you want to check it out. All letters, no numbers. Yeah, it was wicked. I made a few mistakes in that run, so I was going a little bit slower, but still went faster than I'd gone the previous 2 days with the 75 and 180 and the 4-spacer setup. So definitely a faster setup, setting those things up right. So one token in the fork, low speed compression. When I'm looking to dial in a fork, I'll start with nothing on that low speed compression, give it a click or two. That'll kind of give me an idea of how strong the low speed compression is coming on. It'll still feel super supple, and what it'll do if I've not got enough low speed compression is it'll feel like the front end's wandering a bit. Instead of me being able to nail a line there, I can only get within that kind of tolerance of nailing that line. It's harder to hit your line perfectly every time. Dial in another click, the tolerance becomes smaller, like, yep, wicked, I can get closer to that line. So 3 clicks, closer, 4 clicks, really, really good, really precise, really a lot of, not choppy feedback, but great feedback. It gives you exactly what you want out of the fork, it comes back at you perfectly. 5 clicks, too choppy. So starting to get choppy. So 4 clicks, starting to feel that chop, but it's giving me the control I want at the cost of enough, I can handle a little bit of chop for that amount of control. It's the pros of the control outweigh the cons of the chop. 5 clicks, the cons of the chop outweigh the pros of the control. So back to 4 clicks, perfect. Setup wicked. The bike's fast. The bike is fun. I rode nice and narrow up at Waterfall Gully. After we did a loop, we rode all the way to the top, did Ewok, nice bullet track, nice and narrow, and then down Twisted Gum. So 4 good runs. Nice and narrow is quite a pedally, pinchy run, and so is Twisted Gum. And those pinchy, pedally, climby bits, no worries. It's not like, oh, I'm riding a big, long-legged pig of a bike, those pinchy bits are going to suck. I thought maybe they were, and it's nimble. It's nimble, it's fast, it's easy to move line to line. It's killer. For a long-legged bike, it is wicked. I wouldn't say it's super, super capable, but it is really, really capable. But for it to be more capable, it would lose some of its playfulness and some of its precision. I think it's the perfect balance. I think it is the perfect balance. So it's a park bike, enduro bike, very, very aggressive trail bike, if you want to call it a trail bike. Doesn't come with a drink bottle holder. That's a deal killer for me. I won't buy a bike that doesn't have a drink bottle holder. It's just not on. Like, I know, we got to get around the best suspension designs, can't cater for a drink bottle, but Yeti've just made it happen. A lot of traditional bikes that didn't have drink bottles, I think they're starting to click on that you're killing your sales by not building a bike with a drink bottle holder. Granted, this is a park bike, big travel bike, But if you want to, you know, market it to the world, you need somewhere to put your drink. You don't want to carry a backpack. I mean, backpacks are getting better, but you don't want to carry a backpack. Finishing off with the spec, this bar and stem combo and grip combo is quite good. It's a 40mm stem, 780 bars, which are cut down to 760, so perfect for me. The sweep is 5 degree up, 8 degree back. So good spot. It's pretty much the standard. 7 degree back or 8 degree back is pretty much the standard. 9 degrees is a bit retarded. But yeah, they feel good. I got the roll right. I feel excellent. The grips are quite good. They're a little thicker than what I'm running. I'm running the ODI Elite Flow, and which are great. I really like those grips. And these are just a little bit thicker and still quite grippy. And cushion. There's a little bit of cushion there. So that's great. KS Lev. Wicked seat post. The lever feels really good. It's got heaps of adjustability. You can put it anywhere you want. You can rotate it around its clamp itself, and you can put it in and out, and you can move the clamp in and out along the bar as well. So it's got a lot of adjustments. So it'll work alongside with almost any other cockpit setup you've got. I think anyway. I haven't, you know, don't mark me on that, but yeah, I think so. It's fast when you want it to be fast. You can control it. It's good. There's no play in it on the way down the hill. When it's up top, there's a bit of play, but it doesn't matter. When it's down and below, it doesn't make a noise, it doesn't rattle. This seat, it's an SDG, speed defies gravity. It's got printed on here, but that's the worst seat I've ever sat on in my life. It is so uncomfortable, it's terrible. Lose the seat, dropper can stay, the dropper's really good. The tyre combo is really good. The wheels are strong. So far, so good. The frame itself, alloy. This bike, as you see it, weighs in at 15.8 kilos. It's got this cable routing underneath, which I don't think makes any noise. I didn't really hear anything rattling around too much. But for the weight, it feels quite flexy. It feels quite, but I think it plays into its strengths a little bit. That flexy frame maybe makes it corner better. Maybe gives it that turn in that I was talking about. It's just such a good bike to corner. It is such a good bike to corner and change directions on. Almost to the point where the front end is, if you were to go much more in the direction of what they've got, it's twitchy, but it's not. It's perfect. It's the perfect combination between long legs and trying to make a long-legged bike still playful and agile. It's definitely agile. It's definitely an agile bike. So a little bit flexy. I don't know about the longevity of this whole linkage setup, whether being flexy is going to put excessive load on everything and blow stuff out and have you replacing bearings quite constantly or potentially breaking the yoke or something like that. I don't know. I haven't read into the longevity too much of that, but so far so good. It feels good to me. It's nowhere near as stiff as my Patrol. My Patrol is super stiff, and getting back on that after this, there's definitely a big difference. But saying that, this thing cutties really, really well. It feels wicked to cutty on. It feels wicked to wheelie on. It feels wicked to manual on. It feels wicked to throw around in the trails. It feels like a shorter travel bike with the forgiveness of the long travel, obviously. I don't know whether it's having a negative effect at all with that more flexy. Maybe it's built to have that amount of flex to create a feeling that I'm feeling, you know, the feeling that I'm feeling when I'm mauling through corners or landing in a rutted left-hander and being able to just motor through it instead of getting sketchy on it. So it's definitely impressive. Would I buy one? No, most certainly not. Purely because it doesn't have a drink bottle holder. I will not buy a bike that doesn't have a drink bottle. I know it kind of sounds picky and whatever, but what am I going to do? I'm going to put it in my pocket or carry a backpack everywhere and sweat all the time. I'm not into, I can ride with a backpack, I don't mind it, but I won't do it all the time. I want to go out and have a ride. And you know, when I take the dog for a lap around the streets and whatever, I want my drink bottle so I can give him a drink. To have a bike in this day and age without a drink bottle, I know that they're sacrificing a drink bottle because they feel like this is their best platform for the suspension. And it is a big bike, so you know there's not super need for a drink bottle, but if you're buying this bike, you want a drink bottle. So that's a letdown, and the fact that it's online only, I can't roll into the shop I got it from and go, hey, listen, I've got a problem with the frame, or these bearings are prematurely cooked out, I've only had to buy for a couple of weeks, or something, you know, whatever could happen, or you know, componentry wise, it doesn't matter. The components are the component manufacturer's problem to go with the warranty. But for the frame itself, for the bike itself, I'd rather have a bike that I've bought from a shop and I can go in and go, guys, look, the bike's killer or whatever. I'm having issues with this. Can you guys have a look at it? No worries. Bike shops in Adelaide are always killer with stuff like that. I've had wicked warranty service with Giant. I've ridden Giants for ages and I've had a few issues with Giants. They're wicked bikes and their warranty is flawless. I love all the experience I've had with Giant with warranty have been killer. My last bike was a Trek, Bontrager Trek warranty, same story, killer, no questions. The guys at Bicycle Express hooked me up with any issues I had. I had a heap of issues with the rear shock and it was never ever an issue. They always looked after. So SRAM Australia, Trek, Bontrager, which are kind of the same thing, and Giant have been great with warranty. They're kind of the extent of how far I'd go with saying warranties are killer with different brands. Fox, not a lot of experience, so I can't speak too much. I read into the Canyon warranty thing a little bit, and online there's a lot of mixed thoughts, and a lot of people are kind of disappointed with the feedback they get from Canyon, and or the lack of feedback they get from Canyon when they do have warranty issues. So that would steer me away from buying one. But if you're looking at just performance alone, drop the cash for sure. It's wicked value, online only. You're not paying for a middleman. Killer bike. Yeah. Apart from those little gripes that I've got, which are more personal things and experience-based things, I love it. I think it's a wicked bike. So huge shout out to Mark for letting me borrow it. The bike's a ripper, man. It is a lot of fun. I've set it up a little bit different to how you had it, so you might want to fine tune it and get it back to your, you know, closer to what you're happy with, or you might find that it's perfect. So either way, let me know, ride it, and to everyone else that watches this stuff, killer, thank you very much. It's encouraging, you know, it's always inspiring me to do more stuff, and it's just fun. I love it. Huge thanks to anybody who lends me a bike, any of the shops, anybody who gives me any components or anything like that to demo and speak about. Thank you so much. You know I'm always going to be objective, and yeah, if you've got stuff you want me to suss out, you want an opinion on it, send it to me, hit me up. And also I'm looking for clothes. I'm a bit of a tight ass, I don't buy many clothes, and yeah, if you're a clothes manufacturer or a mountain bike apparel mob, hit me up, I'm interested. So yeah, Canyon Talk 2018. If you like it, drop your money, no biggie.